Hey everyone. Yeah, I'm probably going to do this in one video. I should have tried. I talked about two topics on my mind, basically deal, and it's still going to be two topics on my mind, but I'm going to try to make this, well, as best as I can, if you will, without any interruptions. You know, the biggest topic on a lot of people's mind, it's not just the announcement that Ben Affleck's going to be the new Batman. Let's get something straight about this. We may not like certain decisions being made, but if people feel in the business that this person suited is the best option they got and is best suited to play a character, then let them have the opportunity. If they want to throw money towards this individual, says, hey, we want you to be Batman, and then you find out that possibly this person's directing the Justice League movie that you want to make is your Avengers, your answer to the Avengers, as well as the possibility that he's going to be appearing for making 12 more appearances as Batman or Bruce Wayne. The thing is, folks, you can't, for those of you that criticize this decision, it's like some people like Mike Rout Off the Rope Show Central and after the credits, and even Angry Joe, who was a little upset about it, and a few others. You gotta give it a chance. Don't judge something before it happens. It's like this whole situation with the redesigns of the Sonic characters. Everybody's judging it before they officially appear. Now that they're starting to see what they officially will look like in some way, some of them are starting to take that judgment away. They're starting to say, hey, this doesn't look too bad. Yeah, there's certain things about it that don't look that I may not like, but overall it's not too bad. And the thing is, with Batman being played by Ben Affleck, it's not the first time, he's done a superhero. He's done Daredevil. But you gotta understand, think about it this way. Some great examples were used throughout. Heath Ledger and Michael Keaton. When Heath Ledger was cast as the Joker, everybody pretty much knew him from Brokeback Mountain. Thought, nah, he wouldn't make a good Joker. Not only did he make a good Joker, he won Best Actor for it, and he made the Joker exactly what the Joker should be. Scarier as hell. Or heck. Excuse my language, Lord. Scarier than he's ever been. Then you take a look at Michael Keaton. People judged that because he was Mr. Mom. They thought, oh, there's no way Mr. Mom could be Batman. Guess what? He became Batman. He became Bruce Wayne. So, don't judge something before it happens. Just because somebody's done certain other things, like did Argo, which is a dark film, true story, but dark film, and has done certain other films as well that you may or may not like, you can't judge something before it happens. I know a lot of people saying, well, it's got to be an older guy to play Bruce Wayne. Let me explain something. When we had the original 4 films, the original 4-film franchise, Val Kilmer played Bruce Wayne in Batman Forever. And he was about the same age as what Ben Affleck is right now. So, don't go judging something before it happens. Don't go judging something before it happens, because just because you may not like that individual, you may not think they're a good actor, they're a good choice, sometimes, as the old saying goes, looks can be deceiving. And you know what? In the end, if anybody's going to take the blame for this, it's going to be Warner Brothers. It's going to be DC. Warner Brothers is the one that's throwing the money at him. Warner Brothers is letting him be Batman, letting him direct Justice League possibly. So if there's anybody that needs to take the blame for him possibly being a bad Batman when Man of Steel 2 comes out, then so be it. They got no one else to blame but themselves. But it's only if he turns out to be a bad Batman, and I don't think that's going to happen. If Christopher Nolan, if he's the one behind this, if he's the one behind this film, it's not going to happen. It's not. And let's not forget, as many people point out, Ben Affleck, if he needs any more information, he is an avid comic book fan himself. but he also has Kevin Smith to fall back on as a good friend to get more information on the character if he needs it. I mean, how do you think he did Daredevil the way he did? He did Daredevil because he did Daredevil not just because he's an avid comic book fan, but because he had help from Kevin Smith's research. End of story. End of story. So I think we should just reserve judgment and let it play out. Get an idea, probably see maybe some pics or something like that of what he's going to look like, and go from there. Just let it be. Don't judge it before it happens, because if you judge it before it happens, you know, it's going to blow up in your face. Okay? You know, me, for example, you know, I'm not judging the storyline going on in WWE right now. I know it's going to make Daniel Bryan a bigger star than he already is. I know it's eventually going to lead to him being champion. But I've seen it before. And I've seen it before. And already there are some people that are starting to drop off because they pretty much know what's heading. But I'm reserving judgment till the very end to see if there's going to be any more differences. Any strong differences that are going to get me to tune in to that Raw. The only big difference is you have Triple H saying, hey look, you try to help this guy, I'm going to fire your ass. That's it. Overall, I'm reserving judgment until the end. You know, it doesn't mean I'm tuning away. It doesn't mean that. It just means I'm reserving judgment until later on. And see if maybe it was all worth it. Now, another topic that's been talked about for the past 24 plus hours. I've already watched some people talking about it from Morning Joe, Today Show, Fox News, or Fox and Friends. And that is the Miley Cyrus performance at the 30th anniversary of MTV's VMA'S. You know, you had everything else going on. You had Lady Gaga's return, you had NSYNC's reunion, but the one thing that overshadowed it all, apparently, the one thing people talk about the most, is Miley Cyrus's performance. You have people like this one lady on Morning Joe saying she's disturbed, she's disturbed, it was disgusting, it was disgraceful, it was distasteful, it was basically just burying what she did. And you know, you have the guy next to her, it's like, you know, and even Willie Geist, who does as part of the Today Show as well, both are pretty much saying the same thing, that hey, you have these young these young male and female performers, multi-talented, basically you got these young, multi-talented men and women, or young, multi-talented boys and girls, that as soon as they are done with the kid-friendly image, like Miley Cyrus was with Hannah Montana, that they want to venture out and basically finally start proving that they are grown up. They are no longer kids. They're no longer this character. They'll no longer want to be associated with this or that. And you know what? It's not the first time this has happened, folks. It's not the first time, and it's not going to be the last time. You can judge, you know what, everybody's got the right to criticize and say what she did last night was disgusting. They can say what she did with Robin Thicke, who's 36 years old, was disgusting. They can pretty much say all this and that. And they can say, yeah, she's doing this for attention. She's doing this because she's disturbed. She's, you know, she's not all there. She needs help. She needs someone to take her aside and say, look, this is not you. You need to fix things. You know, you even have, you know, the guy next to her that said, hey, it's not the first, they're basically saying it's not the first time this has happened at the VMAs. But you also have him say, but you also have him quoting a tweet from somebody that was in attendance. I think it was a country star, a country singer that was in attendance, that basically said, this, and I can't think of the country singer's name right now, but his tweet basically said, thanks Miley, now I have to explain to my child why they can't follow your career anymore. And I think, honestly, what Willie Geist and this other guy said on the Morning Joe show, I think, and I think it was also on Fox and Friends, they said something similar, that basically by doing this performance, I think it was on Fox and Friends, I'm not really sure, but basically by doing this performance at the VMAs, Miley Cyrus was basically, yeah, you could say she was disturbed, she needs help, she was deranged, or whatever, she was not all, she shouldn't have been allowed on stage and all that. Here's the thing. I think what they said, I believe it was on Fox and Friends, they said it best. This was Miley's statement of saying, Hannah Montana, that character that you associate with me, that Hannah Montana character is dead. It's gone. I'm no longer that person. I no longer want to be associated with that character or that person. I'm me. And I'm going to basically make a statement that I'm me, that I'm different by doing this. And she did. And she did. There's no doubt she made a statement, but the thing is, it's not the first time and it's not going to be the last. I mean, look at Selena Gomez. She was part of Disney, I think one of those shows, I think Wizards of Waverly Place or something, I'm not really sure. And she's in an R-rated movie with Ethan Hawke, I believe, called Getaway. She's in that movie with him. So, again, it's not the first time and it's not going to be the last. I don't understand why people get so concerned about it. I mean, yes, I understand yes, you can come out and say that MTV falsely advertised that this was going to be appropriate for teenagers, for tweens, and for kids up to 14. Let me explain something to that lady on the Morning Joe show, and let me explain something to the other woman that posted this, I think in the Los Angeles Times or New York Times or something. Ever since the TV ratings came out, they've been like movie ratings. TVG means, TVG is for general audience, for everybody. TVY is for youth. TVY7 for youth 7 and up. TVPG, parental guidance. TV14 for up to 14 and maybe up. TVMA, look out. But that's the thing. TV14 and TVMA, between those two ratings, people should know that TV14, not as much as TVMA stands for, but TV14 basically means anything is possible, anything can happen on this broadcast. You know, MA is basically like, MA is TV, an MA rating is the same way. It's like anything goes. Anything goes. It's like there's no rules, anything goes. TV14 at least is saying, hey, anything is possible. And if you want to compare it with movie ratings, let's look at it this way. G is G, just the same way as they're both similar. Y is like G, so it's in the same category. TVY7 sort of borderlines from G to PG, so it's more associated, but more so associated at times with PG. TVPG is associated with PG, but also is also associated with PG-13, so it's borderline that even though it says TVPG, it could still be a PG-13 product, if you know what I mean. Same with R rating. An R rating is basically the equivalent of TV14. That's what it is. It's the equivalent of TV14. That's what an R rating is. And then you got TVMA, which is the equivalent to theatrical NC-17. The point is, folks, no matter how you look at it, no matter how much you complain about it, whether it's Batman being Affleck, Ben Affleck being Batman, or Miley Cyrus doing this, it's not the first time and it's not the last. When you look at those ratings, you should realize, okay, it's 14, anything's possible. When WWE, like TNA is now, when they were 14, they did risky stuff as well. And people were talking about it, but it's because they were 14. They were pretty much saying, hey, this is our rating, anything's going to happen. And that's the same thing here. when SmackDown had the TV PG DSLV rating under it. The DSLV, that's basically like saying the equivalent of 13. That's basically what it is. You add V or LV under PG, you're basically saying, okay, it's not PG parental guidance, it's PG-13. So you should have expected that when they did the VMA'S 2 nights ago, and they put the TV-14 rating, which I'm sure they did, and they probably put SLV or LSV, you should have realized that that was the equivalent of saying this is an R-rated program. That this is going to be almost to the level of R rating, and anything can and will happen. You know, it's not going to be on the level of a TVMA rating. Well, basically there is no rules. There are rules. It's just that anything can and probably will happen in some of these performances. And some of these acceptance speeches. And I think that's basically what some of these people that are criticizing what she did 2 nights ago should understand. You know, it was a TV-14 program, possibly with the SLV rating, a sub-rating underneath, stating that anything could and probably would happen within the boundaries of the program. They didn't, so think of it this way, they didn't initially lie because they were going by the rating they had. So they didn't necessarily lie. I mean, if this was let's take a look at the difference here. If this was aired on CBS, which is also a Viacom network like MTV, if it was shown on CBS, then yeah, as soon as she started doing that, there's no doubt they would have cut it. They would have gone to commercial, and they would have had the host or hostess come out and say, hey, I apologize for Miley Cyrus's actions. She has been escorted out of the building. She will no longer be here tonight to perform or accept any awards. So, and to me, if that would have happened, you'd probably be hearing about it, but you wouldn't be hearing it as much because action would have been taken. But this was basically, I guess you could say it was live TV. I believe it was live. So yeah, it was live TV. So anything was possible. It's like to say anything and everything, anything could happen on live TV, especially if that live TV is a TV-14 LSV rated product or presentation. So they should expect that. They shouldn't, I mean, yes, they have the right to criticize and be angry about what she did. You know, I'm 34 years old, and I've seen some controversial performances even on broadcast airings of award shows, like Nicki Minaj's about a year or so ago. I saw that performance, and that was a little surprising. So it's not the first time, and it won't be the last. Alright? It's not the first, and it won't be the last. So people need to basically look at it like this. This is probably something, I'm not trying to defend what she did. I'm not trying to defend what she did. But this was basically, and I think Fox and Friends said it best, this was basically her way of confirming that the Hannah Montana image was gone, it's dead, it's buried, and it was time for her to move on. And I believe this was her statement of doing. This was her making that statement. Now, do I encourage what she did? No, of course not. I don't encourage what she did, but the thing is, it's just part of her making a statement. Do I encourage the fact that she did it at 20 years old? No, I don't. It's just like if you're encouraging, you know, it's like you're encouraging someone younger to do something similar. I don't encourage it. Because here's why. It's almost like you're saying, oh, it's like you're publicly saying, oh, it's alright to have a shot of vodka, young girl, right in front of the whole world, when you're supposed to wait till you're 21 to have a shot. Like my niece did. My niece just turned 21, and she celebrated in Vegas. But the point is, I don't condone what she did, but I look at it like this. It's just her trying to, even if she, I mean, here's the thing. Even if she waited till she was 21, she probably would have done the same thing. Even if she waited till next year's VMAs when she was 21 to do this, she probably would have done it the same. She would have probably done it all over again. I'm sure she's going to probably tweet out and video out, apologize for her actions, or not apologize and say, hey, look, even if I waited a year to do it, you know, I'll probably do it again. She'll probably come out and say she doesn't regret anything. You know? You know, so to me, I don't condone what she did. It was shocking, but the truth is, I think they said it best on Fox and Friends, better than I think some of the people, that lady on Morning Joe said it. I think mainly she was making a statement that her Hannah Montana image is dead and buried, and that she's moving on from it. Do I condone what she did with Robin Thicke, who's 16 years older than her? No, I don't. I don't condone that either, but it's basically her taking center stage at an event that was broadcast on cable channels, on cable networks instead of broadcast networks, and basically making a statement. Yeah, did it have jaws hit the floor in shock? Yeah, it did. Because again, everybody's so used to her being portrayed as Hannah Montana. They're used to seeing I mean, it's basically like when you look at her, you don't see Miley Cyrus the person, you see Hannah Montana, the character. And I think that's what she was trying to do. Again, I don't condone some of the actions she did during the performance, but it was her way of trying to make that statement. So, to me, these two topics that I talked about are just, you know, the Batman, Ben Affleck being Batman, like I said, we need to save judgment for that. And, you know, it's Warner Bros.' decision. If it backfires in the face when the movie comes out and he turns out to be a bad, if not the worst Batman of all time, then that's their decision. They gotta live with it. If he turns out to be good, probably one of the better ones, then so be it. You know, as far as Miley Cyrus goes, yeah, I admit, I don't condone what she did, like anybody else. I don't condone her actions during her performance or her duet with, if you will, with Robin Thicke. I don't. But to me, it was just her making a statement. And the truth is, she's not going to be the first. She's not the first, and she won't be the last. Britney Spears has done it. Christina Aguilera has done it. Lady Gaga, obviously, when she first came on the scene, did it. So did Nicki Minaj. So she's not the first, and she's not going to be the last. So let me know what you guys' comments are on these two topics. Comment below, video response if you like, and I'll talk to you all later.